Hello friends, I am Professor Vayam Khan and today we will cover one more problem of linear programming models, and the problem is of simplex method with finding the value or finding the solution by using minimization. Okay, so the given problem is as follows. It says solve by simplex method and minimize z is equals to x1 minus 3x2 plus 3x3. So the objective function is given to us. The objective is to minimize the z. Okay, we have to find the minimum value of z. Okay, and this objective function is subject to 3x1 minus x2 plus 2x3, which is less than or equal to 7, 2x1 plus 4x2 greater than or equal to minus 12. Now this is the first time we are seeing this minus sign on the right side. Now next constraint given to us is minus 4x1 plus 3x2 plus 8x3, which is less than or equal to 10. So these are the constraints given to us, and the feasible alternatives are x1, x2 and x3 are greater than or equal to 0. So this thing is to be converted, this problem is to be converted into standard form. So as to convert this into standard form, we have to add some slack variables to each and every constraint, as well as these slack variables will be added to the objective function with coefficient 0. Okay, now the first thing that we have to check is all the constraints on right hand side are positive, but since this second constraint is having minus sign on right hand side, so it is to be converted into a positive sign. So as to convert this into positive sign, we have to multiply the constraint by minus 1. In this way the left hand side will get minus sign and the right hand side will be positive. Okay, and these inequalities are to be converted into equation, or you can say equality, by using slack variables. So let's see how to convert it. Now as the right hand side of the second constraint is negative, we have multiplied this second constraint by minus 1. In that way the second constraint is converted like this: minus 2x1 minus 4x1. Since this inequality here is greater than or equal to 0, but we have multiplied it by minus 1, so it will also get reversed. So it is less than or equal to 12 now, and this is minus sign, so minus 12 is converted into plus 12. So this is the first thing that we did here. If at any time in any problem such a kind of situation occurs, you have to perform this method, you have to perform similarly. Okay, now next thing is introducing slack variables. We have to add slack variables to each and every constraint. So for constraint number 1 we will add slack variable s1. For constraint number 2 we'll add slack variable s2. For constraint number 3 we'll add slack variable s3, and these slack variables will also be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so these slack variables are not only added in your constraint equations, but they are added into the objective function as well, but their coefficient is kept 0. Okay, so 0 s1 plus 0 s2 plus 0 s3. This is the converted objective function. Now the constraints are converted like this. They are converted into standard form like this: 3x1 minus x2 plus 2x3 plus s1 is equal to 7. So by adding simply slack variable into it, we remove this inequality. Okay, so for second constraint, minus 2x1 minus 4x2 plus s2 equal to 12. We have added only s2. Each and every time you have to add only one constraint to every equation. So for equation number 1 you will add s1, for equation number 2 you will add s2, whereas the remaining slack variables like s1 and s3 for this particular equation will be 0. Okay, now third equation, minus 4x1 plus 3x2 plus 8x3 plus s3 equal to 10, where x1, x2, x3, s1, s2, s3 are greater than or equal to 0. Since the problem is converted into standard form of simplex method, now we'll put the values of these equation into a table. So we'll find the feasible solution now. Now we'll find first possible solution of this problem. So as to find the possible first basic feasible solution of this problem, we'll consider the converted or the standard form of this problem, and will put x1, x2 and x3 equal to 0 in constraints. In these constraints we will put x1, x2 and x3 equal to 0. This will make the remaining equation 0 and there will only remain s1. There will be only slack variables there. So s1, after putting this x1, x2 and x3 equal to 0 in constraints, we get s1 equal to 7, s2 equal to 12 and s3 equal to 10. Okay, so now we will put these values and these coefficients into the table of simplex method. Now the table of simplex method is as follows. First row is your Cj, that is the coefficients of your objective function. Okay, the coefficients of the variables of the objective function. Okay, the variables which are present in your objective function, their coefficients are written here. उनके कोएफिशिएंट यहाँ पर हम क्या कर रहे हैं, लिख रहे हैं. So पहला x1 है. So this in second row you just write the variables x1, x2, x3. These are the non-basic variables. s1, s2, s3. These are the basic variables. This b is nothing but the value which is present on the right hand side of every equation. This is slack variables, your s1, s2, s3. This cb is nothing but the coefficient of slack variables in the objective function. So this will be 0, 0, 0. This will be 7, 12, 10, and you have to write every equation's coefficient in their respective row. Okay, so the first row is nothing but your coefficients of objective function, coefficients of the variables present in the objective function. So 1 minus 3, this is 3, this is s1 is 0, s2 is 0, s3 is 0. Okay, so in next thing we write the variables, the coefficients of first equation, the coefficients of variables present in the first equation. So they should be written in the third row, in this particular row. Okay, so we'll write it. So for x1 it is 3, for x2 it is minus 1, for x3 it is 2, for s1 it is 1, s2 is 0, s3 is 0 and b is 7. So we have written it like this: 3, minus 1, 2, 1, 0, 0 and this is 7. Similarly, the coefficient of s1 variable in objective function is 0, so we have written it 0 here. So all these things will be 0 in the first table. So similarly writing for s2, or similarly writing for the second equation, we have minus 2, minus 4, x3 is 0, so x3 is 0, s1 is 0, so s1 is 0, s2 is 1, s2 is 1 here, and similarly s3 is 0, and 12 for the b, and cb is 0. So similarly writing for the third equation. In this way we have completed the table or tableau of your simplex method. Now we'll compute the next thing which is required to find the optimal solution. The next thing is calculation of zj. Now zj is nothing but the summation of CB multiplied by the coefficient of the respective columns, or you can say if you multiply this 0 by 3, 0 multiplied by 3, then plus 0 multiplied by minus 2 plus 0 multiplied by minus 4. So whatever the summation is, it is written here. So you have to multiply this column of CB with this column of x1, say x1, say x2, say x3, s1, s2, s3, and it is to be added and written here. Okay, so that is nothing but summation CB into Aij. Okay, now since this CB is 0 here, so all the Zj are 0 in the first table. Okay, now we'll compute second thing, that is Cj minus Zj. So you have to subtract this 0 from this particular you can say these particular coefficients, this particular row. So Cj minus Zj, we compute it. So 1 minus 0 is 1, minus 3 minus 0 is minus 3, 3 minus 0 is 3, 0, 0 is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So Cj and Cj minus Zj are computed here. Now this is the thing that we require to tell whether this feasible solution is optimal or not. Since we need to perform the optimality test. What is the optimality test? If any one of the Cj minus Zj is negative, or you can say is negative in any value of Cj minus Zj is negative, then this particular solution is not optimal. Now I am saying this thing that if any of the value is negative here, then this particular solution is not optimal. But why I am saying negative? Why I am saying negative? Because this is a problem of minimization. For maximization, the values of Cj minus Zj should be 0 or negative, so as to be the function to be optimal. If the solution is to be optimal for maximization problem, then this Cj minus Zj has to be 0 or negative. It should not be positive. But for minimization problem, it should be 0 and positive. It should not be negative. Here objective is to minimize, therefore if any Cj minus Zj coefficient is negative, the solution will not be optimal. That is the difference between minimization problem and maximization problem in the simplex method, and this is very important point. Rest of the things are similar, only you have to check the optimality, and if Cj minus Zj is negative, then it is said to be not optimal in minimization, and if Cj minus Zj is 0 and negative for every value, then it is said to be optimal for maximization. Okay, now since we have a negative value in Cj minus Zj, so this solution is not optimal. So we will move towards next solution. We'll iterate the solution now. So as in the iteration of this solution, we have to select the most negative value of Cj minus Zj. Since we have only one, so there is no problem, but in case of more values, you have to select the most negative value of it. Okay, so minus 3 is the negative value here, so we'll select it. This particular column will be called as key column, and this particular variable will be your entering variable. This will enter into the new solution, and there will be some variable s1, s2, s3 that will be leaving the solution. Okay, so x2 is entering variable, and to decide which variable is leaving will compute the value of theta, will compute a value of theta. Now this theta is nothing but b divided by the key column. Okay, b divided by the value of key column. Okay, so 7 divided by -1 is -7, 12 divided by -4 is -3, 10 divided by 3 is 10 by 3. Okay, now we have selected key column. Now we know entering variable. Now we want to find the key row and we want to find the leaving variable as well. Okay, so we'll select the least positive value of this theta. सबसे छोटी पॉजिटिव वैल्यू हमें क्या करना है, यहाँ सेलेक्ट करना है. सिंस देयर आर ओनली 3 वैल्यूज एंड आउट ऑफ दिस 3 2 values are negative, so these 2 cannot be selected. Only the positive value will be selected and will enter into this particular row, and by entering into it we'll select the key row. Okay, so S3 will be your leaving variable. This will be removed in the next equation. This will be your entering variable. S3 will be replaced by X2, and we have found our key or your pivot value or pivot point. This is your key point, this is your key value. Now this is key column, this is key row, and this is key cell. Okay, so this is key cell. This particular value, this intersection value is to be converted into unity. Now it is to be converted into unity. Now we have to convert it into 1. Now so as to convert into 1, we have to divide it by 3. So the whole row of S3 will be divided by 3 in the next column. Okay, now this is the ratio. This is your ratio which is computed on the basis of the pivot value or your key cell, and this key cell is divided by the, you can say, the key column value. Like this 1 is divided by this particular thing and it is written here. Okay, so this is your FR. Okay, now this FR, this is 1 by 3 for this particular cell. This is 4 by 3 for this particular row. I am sorry, it is for particular row. This is FR for particular row. This is fixed ratio, and this fixed ratio is very important. Why it is important, I'll tell you in next you can say slide. And this is computed, just remember that it is computed like this. So the key column value divided by the pivot element. Okay, so your key cell key column value divided by the key cell value. So 1 by 3 and 4 by 3. So it is written for these 2 rows. Now in next we'll iterate towards optimality. Now since variable S2 is replaced by X2, by performing row operation by usual ways, solution will become optimal when all Cj and Zj becomes 0 or positive. Now this is your old table, huh? The previous table. This is your previous table. Now this previous table is required because to compute the next table. Now in next table, the S2 is replaced by X2. So S2 is replaced by I'm sorry, this is the value of your S3. S3 is replaced by, in this particular equation, by X2. Okay, so this S3 gets out and your X2 comes in. So we write X2 here. Similarly, we write the coefficient of X2 here. The coefficient of X2 is -3. It is to be written from objective function, so it is -3. Now this particular thing is to be made unity. In making this particular key element, your key element unity, we have to divide it by 3. So हम उसको 3 से डिवाइड करते हैं. So 3 से जब डिवाइड करते हैं, so it becomes 1. but the rest of the things in this particular row is also to be divided by 3. So ये -4 का हो जाएगा -4/3, ये 8 का हो जाएगा 8/3, ये 0 को डिवाइड करने से कोई फ़र्क नहीं गिरेगा, बट ये 1 का हो जाएगा 1/3 और ये 10 का हो जाएगा 10/3. ओके, इन दिस वे वी कंप्यूट द नेक्स्ट वैल्यूज़ ऑफ द टेबल. अब दूसरी नेक्स्ट वैल्यू जो हम कंप्यूट करेंगे वो रहेंगी हमारी S1 रो. इट विल बी आवर S1 रो. अब S1 रो को जब हम कंप्यूट करते हैं तो ये जो की कॉलम के एलिमेंट्स हैं, प्रीवियस की कॉलम के जो एलिमेंट्स हैं, इनको क्या करना पड़ता है, हमको 0 बनाना पड़ता है. सो दिस -1 इज टू बी मेड 0 एंड दिस -4 इज ऑल्सो टू बी मेड 0. एंड अब हमारे पास में जो फिक्स्ड रेशो है उसका इस्तेमाल करके हम क्या करेंगे, उसको 0 बनाएंगे. अब उसको 0 कैसा बनाया जाता है, तो ये फिक्स्ड रेशो मल्टीप्लाइड बाय दिस पर्टिकुलर रो. ओके, मल्टीप्लाइड बाय दिस पर्टिकुलर रो. ओके, जैसे कि ये फिक्स्ड रेशो है 1/3, किसके लिए है, S1 के लिए है, तो उसको हम मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे इस रो के साथ में और प्लस या माइनस करेंगे इस रो की वैल्यूज़ को. हमको क्या करना है, यहाँ पर रो ऑपरेशन करना है. तो वो रो ऑपरेशन क्या है, देखो, रो S1 चेंजेस टू 1/3 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय दिस इज योर x2 रो नाउ, मल्टीप्लाइड बाय x2 रो प्लस S1. अभी प्लस S1 क्यों करना है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर ये माइनस है, दिस इज माइनस. सो ये माइनस को अगर रिमूव करना है तो मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा, -1 को रिमूव करना है तो मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा, आई हैव टू ऐड 1 into 8. सो +1 मैं जब करूँगा तो ये हो जाएगा 0. ओके, सो S1 चेंजेस टू 1/3 x2 प्लस S1. सो ये हमने पूरे रो के लिए वो वैल्यूज़ क्या कर दी है, कंप्यूट कर दी है. सो ये 0 हो गया. देखो ये है आपका -1, इसको अगर इसके अंदर मैं ऐड करता हूँ, जैसे कि 1/3 x2 है, सो 1/3 x2 में क्या हो जाएगा, यहाँ पर 1 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 1/3 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 3, सो 3 गेट्स कैंसल, तो ये +1 हो जाएगा वैल्यू. +1 में से अगर आप इसको -1 को माइनस कर देंगे तो क्या आ जाएगा, आपका वैल्यू 0 आ जाएगा. सो सिमिलरली बाकी की भी ऑपरेशंस आपको करना है. ओके, अब सेकंड S2 जो है, S2 के लिए हमारे पास फिक्स रेशो 4/3 है, तो हम क्या करेंगे, 4/3 को इस पर्टिकुलर x2 की रो से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. ओके, और क्या करेंगे कि उसकी जो वैल्यूज़ आएंगी वो यहाँ पर लिख देंगे. सो ये भी सेकंड कॉलम भी क्या हो जाएगा, हमारा 0 हो जाएगा. ओके, सो ये है 4/3 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय x2 प्लस S2. ओके, सो नाउ दिस बिकम्स लाइक दिस. नाउ ये x2 जो है वो भले ही यहाँ पर लिखा है मैंने, भले ही यहाँ पर x2 लिखा है, बट जो वैल्यूज़ हम ये रो ऑपरेशन में यूज़ कर रहे हैं ना, ये प्रीवियस टेबल की जो है, द रो ऑपरेशन इज़ टू बी परफॉर्म्ड बाय यूजिंग प्रीवियस टेबल वैल्यूज़. सो ये हमारा नया टेबल हमको यहाँ पर मिल गया. अब फिर से हम क्या करेंगे, फिर से हम ZJ निकालेंगे, CJ माइनस ZJ निकालेंगे. ओके, सो ZJ जब निकालते हैं हम, तो हम 4 -3 -8 0 0 -1 -10 हमको मिलता है. CJ माइनस ZJ निकालेंगे तो इसमें से इसको सब्ट्रैक्ट करना है. सो 1 -4, तो यहाँ पर -3 आ जाएगा, यहाँ पर 0 आ गया, यहाँ पर 11, ये 0 0, ये 1. अभी भी एक वैल्यू जो है वो CJ माइनस ZJ की नेगेटिव है. दिस इज़ योर सेकंड बेसिक फिजिबल सोल्यूशन, बट सिंस ये वैल्यू अभी भी नेगेटिव है तो ये हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा, वापस से इटरेट करना पड़ेगा. सो वी हैव टू इटरेट इट. ओके, अगेन नाउ इन इटरेटिंग इट बैक अगेन, सो ये हमको मिलता है सोल्यूशन. ये है हमारा, इसको इटरेट करने के लिए हम पहले तो फिक्स्ड रेशो निकाल लेंगे, साथ ही साथ में की एलिमेंट सेलेक्ट कर लेंगे. ओके, की कॉलम सेलेक्ट करेंगे. की कॉलम हमने देखा कि -3 है, -3 मोस्ट नेगेटिव वैल्यू जो है उसको सेलेक्ट करो, तो ये की कॉलम आपने सेलेक्ट कर लिया. सो ये की कॉलम होने के बाद में आप की रो सेलेक्ट करोगे. कैसा सेलेक्ट करोगे, थीटा की मदद से. थीटा कैसे कंप्यूट करेंगे, B डिवाइडेड बाय द की कॉलम. ओके, द वैल्यू ऑफ की कॉलम. तो ये हमने थीटा भी निकाल लिया. ओके, सिंस हमारे पास की कॉलम भी आ गया, की रो भी आ गया, की एलिमेंट भी हमारे पास में बन जाता है. सो की एलिमेंट है हमारा 5/3. अभी हमारा x1 जो है वो एंटरिंग वेरिएबल है, S1 जो है वो लीविंग वेरिएबल है. ये बाहर चल जाएगा, ये अंदर आ जाएगा. ओके, सो वो हमको क्या करना है, अभी नेक्स्ट टेबल में वो वैल्यूज़ लिखना है। सो नेक्स्ट टेबल में हम लिखते हैं यहाँ पर x1 एंटरिंग वेरिएबल आ गया, ओके। s1 जो था वो बाहर चले गया, और जैसा हमने x1 का कोएफिशिएंट यहाँ लिखा था, तो x1 का भी, जैसे हमने x2 का कोएफिशिएंट यहाँ लिखा था, वैसे ही x1 का भी कोएफिशिएंट यहाँ लिख दिया। इस 5/3 को हमने 1 कर दिया। कैसा 1 किया, सो मल्टीप्लाइड बाय और डिवाइडेड बाय 5/3, ओके। सो ये 1 हो गया। तो सिंस हमने उसको डिवाइड किया है बाय 5/3 से, तो बाकी के एलिमेंट्स में भी रिस्पेक्टिव चेंजेस आएंगे। अब की कॉलम ये वाला है, तो इस कॉलम के ये दोनों वैल्यूज़ 0 होने चाहिए। तो ये दोनों वैल्यूज़ 0 कहाँ से होंगे, तो हमारे फिक्स्ड रो से होंगे। तो हमको क्या करना है, रो ऑपरेशन करना है वापस से, जिसकी मदद से ये दोनों भी एलिमेंट्स क्या हो जाएंगे, 0 हो जाएंगे। तो इसके लिए हम क्या यूज़ करेंगे, 22/5 फिक्स रेशो इस रो के लिए और 4/5 फिक्स रेशो इसके लिए, ओके। और इस तरीके से हम ये बाकी के वैल्यूज़ कंप्यूट करते हैं। CJ ZJ निकालते हैं, फिर से CJ माइनस ZJ निकालते हैं। अब देखते हैं हम CJ माइनस ZJ, तो सभी वैल्यूज़ पॉजिटिव है या 0 है। सो ये जो सोल्यूशन है, दिस इज़ आवर ऑप्टिमल सोल्यूशन। सिंस ऑल वैल्यूज़ ऑफ CJ माइनस ZJ आर पॉजिटिव और 0, देन दिस सोल्यूशन इज़ ऑप्टिमल सोल्यूशन। और ऑप्टिमल सोल्यूशन से हम जो Z min है, Z मिनिमम, वो निकालेंगे। अब x1 और x2 वेरिएबल ही दो कंसीडर होंगे, x3 वेरिएबल नहीं होगा क्योंकि वो एंटर ही नहीं हुआ। सो x1 इज़ बेसिक नाउ, x2 इज़ बेसिक नाउ। सो x1 की वैल्यू कितनी है, कितनी पुट करना है हमारे को, तो x1 इज़ इक्वल्स टू 31/5 और x2 कितना करना है, 58/5, एंड दिस इज़ टू बी पुट इनटू योर ऑब्जेक्टिव फंक्शन। तो जब उसको मैं ऑब्जेक्टिव फंक्शन में रखता हूँ, so it comes around -143/5. So this is the value of your Z mean, and this is the way you solve your Z mean minimization problem in simplex method. Thank you. Stay at home, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep learning. Thank you.